All right, I would like to welcome this capacity crowd to panel with some of my favorite entrepreneurs in the industry. Hello, all of you, looking bright this morning. So all of these folks are part of Purina's Petcare Innovation Network, many of them winners of the prize, and some that have been invited in because of the stellar work they do in collaboration. So I want to kick this off, if you can do it briefly, just tell us who you are, who your company is, and kind of when you entered the family of PCIN.
I'm Leo Trottier, founder CEO of Fluent Pet. Originally Clever Pet, which is actually when we entered the family, probably in 2016 or 17.
Ballpark's good.
Roughly. And then a few years later, after we launched Fluent Pet, we ended up winning the PCIN, PCIP, I guess, grand prize. That would have been in 22, I think.
I'm Anja. I'm the founder and chief scientist of Happy Bond. We do fresh food in glass jars. And I think we were 2023 entering the prize.
You may have to pull your mic up a little bit. Is she a little hard to hear? Or if we can turn her up maybe just to hear. 2023, right?
2023. I don't know if this works.
She's saying 2023.
2023.
We got you. My name is Colleen Wilson. I am the founder of Pets on Cue and The Animalist. We work with content creators, animal actors in the production world. We launched a marketplace that's for hiring those animals, and then we run a large agency around that. And I entered in the group in 2020. I applied for the prize last year.
Jamie, you're old school like me.
I'm old school. I'm the OG.
You are, yeah.
First cohort, 2016?
Oh, no.
17? So I think, 2016, 2017, first cohort. I'm Jamie. I'm the founder and CEO of FetchFind. We're the digital education hub for the pet industry. We work with everybody from groomers to dog walkers to veterinary offices to retailers, everyone in between. And we have partnerships with the WPA and PetSmart charities, building out content and technology to support all of their labor forces that are associated with those groups. And it's really awesome. I love it. I'm so lucky to be here. Thank you.
From old to new.
Hi, everybody. My name's Gabe. I am the CEO and co-founder of Archway Pet. Archway is a pet consumable company, so a dog and cat food and treat that uses food-sensitive friendly ingredients paired with sustainable novel proteins. Our best seller is the invasive carp wild caught in the Mississippi. Joined in PCIN in 2024. And very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're not on. No.
Scott's off. We'll get you there, Scott.
We'll see if we get it back on in a minute. My name's Scott Eller. I am the co-founder of Artie. We are the first system to make home-cooked meals at the touch of a button. Our little display kiosk is right over here. Wave, guys. You can stop by and say hi later. We won the prize in 2023. So, yeah, and happy to be here.
Awesome. And my name, last but not least, Meghan Wolfgram, founder and CEO of SwiftPaws, and we make enrichment products for pets, best known for our lure coursing kits, where your pet gets to chase around a fake squirrel, if you will. And we joined in 2024.
So technically, you're not last because I'm moderator and also member.
Also member.
That's right.
Yeah.
I own a company called PupJoy, and I was the cohort after Jamie, so the second one through the prize. And it's been phenomenal to see this network and community of all of us grow up. So why are we here? Partly, we're celebrating our 10th year. Go ahead, you're good. 10th year, yes. So that's 10 years, over $1.5 million in grant money that Purina has given away to all of us, and countless hours of coaching, mentoring, summits, meetings, crying, yes, crying, tears, laughter, the whole gamut. And it really has, I think Jamie probably can speak to this too. It's been amazing to see a program that was kind of in its infancy when we joined grow into something that's very robust and I think a powerful force, especially for the entrepreneurial community in the industry now. So with that, we'll go in reverse order on this. like you just tell, kind of from the heart, like what has it impacted your business and in what way?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the network is probably one of the most substantial parts of being in the pet industry because, especially if you're relatively new, like a lot of us are when we come in, meeting other founders and having that peer-to-peer relationship and being able to commiserate or share successes or ask for a little bit of advice if you're trying something new is really unparalleled. So, I mean, obviously the grant money is amazing, and the boot camp at Purina's headquarters is amazing, and all of those other amazing tactile things that you get up front. But then the lasting network has been, for me, one of the most impactful portions. All these, I mean, these are all now my friends, and we get together, and sometimes we cry on each other's shoulders. But that's everything.
Yeah, that sounds better. I would echo that. I mean, having a network of people that know what it's like to be on a founder's journey is really priceless. To be able to have that group of people, not just my own cohort, but the entire group has been phenomenal. For us, it was my business partner and I came from corporate America. We spent a long time with very large companies, so we were very reluctant to jump into a prize that was, sponsored by one of the largest pet food companies in the world. Frankly, we were a little scared to do it, but it's been a great journey. The introductions, not just these people, but potential funding partners, network beyond just the founders, just out into the greater world, has been really priceless for us as well, just to build that network out.
I'll echo the network for a third time, but I'll also say as a pet consumable company, having the support of Purina in terms of resources. So when you're talking about market data or just having a feedback board to talk about what we should be looking for in nutrition or in sustainability, how to do a life cycle analysis, Purina's been very, very helpful in helping us build a more reputable product. So awesome on network, but also amazing resources.
So again, echo. But I think, so I am a 30-year entrepreneur in the pet industry, and FetchFind is my fourth company. So I came into the network with, so many years of working with pets and people and working in different businesses and different environments. And I, always looked at this world as something that was not anything I would ever be a part of because I was always in business to consumer service businesses. And so my entry into this world of CPG and SaaS and all of the things that we all have to offer the world has been completely life-changing for me. I think without the network and without Purina, I know my business would not be where we are. We wouldn't have been as innovative. We certainly wouldn't have been supported. Purina also made an investment in FetchFind, which was a very meaningful part of our journey, of course. And I think, I cannot, without getting too dorky, and I don't, this network has changed my life. And everybody on here is.
We're all friends. You can be as dorky.
I mean, I am dorky. And so that's the thing. This is the most incredible thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm so grateful to be here for real. And everyone here I know has varying experiences that are all related to the idea that without this, we would be in a different place.
We need a serious group hug after this, I think.
Yeah. All right. I would love that.
I would echo everything that everyone's saying. We always do a dinner as well, and we get together, and it's just, I have gotten more help from this group to grow my company. And I'm going to go back to the Purina team. I wouldn't have the investment I have. Single-handedly, they helped me get that. They introduced them to me. They brought them out to this event. They helped me prep for pitching. They put me in a room in front of them and had the after party for me to secure the deal. They really did everything for me and laid it out there. So if you are a startup and you need help and you need support, I also run a service-based marketplace. And a lot of the people here have helped me test it out. And they've given me honest feedback that I needed to be able to help bring it to a place where I could go to beta and launch the marketplace. And I'm really appreciative. And I've also had life-changing opportunities. Even yesterday, the whole crew is everyone. Oh, and Meghan, Catherine, and I, because of this group, we wanted to help other women as well. So thanks for reminding me and bringing this up. We founded the Female Founders in Pet. and just kind of as like a small little thing to help women get to the place where they could get into this group. And it's just been also another really good group, and the culture I think is amazing here, and yeah, I love everyone. It's fine. That's it.
Well, we can just echo that too, all the good feedback. But I also feel even that the group is great and helping each other. When you're in trouble, they're also there. And I feel like even in my place, we had big supply chain issues, and they actually give you the experts to help and work through that and let you talk to all the people that are in manufacturing and supply chain and open the doors. And it's not like they're not telling you their secrets. So I'm very, I was really thankful that they brought me through this and gave me the ideas to continue to find the right producers. And so they're there when you need them the most, and they actually give you all the knowledge and help to help your business grow, even when you're really thinking like this is not going anywhere. So I think that anyone should be in that network if you're in pet, and have our founder for sure.
It's been great to see, no disagreement with anything anyone said. It's been great to see the network evolve over the last number of years. How many is it now? Probably
We're 50 plus in the
50
network.
plus. That's 50 people. I mean, you can reach anyone with a network of 50 founders.
Yeah.
So introductions obviously is super helpful. It's just, bouncing things off of each other. It's just been great. Yeah.
He was actually on a panel yesterday with some other great resources for entrepreneurs. Leap, Skew, Plug and Play couldn't be there, but they kind of fall in the same boat. And we were talking about like multiple opportunities that young entrepreneurs should at least look at for helping to leverage. And I think it's they're all great and potentially fits. And I know some of you have had opportunities in other programs too. I think there are a couple things about this structure that makes it unique. One of which is it is completely non-dilutive grant money, which is unique from a lot of other accelerator structures in that there are no strings attached. Some companies develop more of a relationship with Purina than others, but there's no strings to do so. The other thing is we do somewhat of an accelerator structure, but it's a condensed 1-week boot camp versus out over multiple weeks. And I think we're the only one in the industry, at least right now, that's doing it under that structure. So, depending on who you are as an entrepreneur and what you're looking for, it can be a great fit. Certainly, I would agree. Here, echoed time and time again, the money is great, but a lot of times it's the stuff beyond the money that over time is some of the most impactful things. Another thing I think is just helpful for entrepreneurs to hear is like, we all go through this, and there are highs and lows and goods and bads, and I think having a community of people is helpful. I'd love to hear from you guys like some of what those might look like. I know like one of my lows was we made a mistake with a client of like overloading way too much inventory in a warehouse, and I was trying to move stuff around on a fork ladder on a Saturday by myself, like trying to play Jenga of like, how am I going to fit all this in? I literally knocked 2 pallets over. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like it was probably as close as I ever came to tears as an entrepreneur. I think I called you like the day after, called Jamie and like virtually cried on her shoulders. And I think it's times like that, whatever your challenges are, that whether they're big, small, real, or perceived, that like having people you can be close to means a lot. And also with the highs, like I know with many of you, when we've had wins, like we're whether it's over the phone or in person, high-fiving with each other, and it's fun to be able to win with other people you love. So maybe like whatever you're comfortable sharing, like what are some of the maybe highs, lows, lessons learned you've had in your path as entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I don't mind starting. I had some problems when launching my marketplace on just product market fit overall. And Meghan and her team came in and they checked it out. They gave me very honest feedback, which sometimes people lie to you. Like they're like, everything's great, it's all good. And there were a couple of things that I just didn't realize, and it really helped me fix it and make it better. And it was a very quick, easy fix. And I adore them and their team, and it's really helped change my company too.
And then we used her platform and have had some of our most successful collaborations because of the tool that she's built.
Yeah.
So it's just such a synergistic relationship. And that's maybe not a relationship that I would have ever gotten to without being a part of the network.
And my dog eats Artie, and it's the best.
It's good partnership. All of our ads have actors that came directly from, so it's all a synergy. It is, and it's a great group, and
So we're launching
here to
a
support each other.
conglomerate.
Right? Exactly. It's good. It's good.
Well, and Leo, your buttons, you even taught my bulldogs to do that. They're not that smart and trainable, but she did make it happen that they can press treat and play, and they still listen to those words. And I think sometimes they press it by mistake because they're really not that trainable, but I think we're still using it, and it's so much fun for them. So,
Great.
yep.
I'll say one other thing in that a previous entrepreneur in residence like yourself, is still a mentor and actually became an investor in our company. So, who had gone through this program, actually had a successful exit. And so not just tapping into people that are making it work every day, but actually tapping into people that have gone through it and had an exit and lived in your shoes and had the outcome you're looking to have at some point. Again, it's no better coach than someone who's traveled the road you're trying to go down and ended there successfully. So that has been a great supporter and gift to us through this program as well. Well, I think one of the this also came up on the panel we were talking about yesterday. Buff, one of the other panelists, was talking about like industry-wide rates, or maybe it was national rates, on the percentage of startups that fail, which in general is pretty high. I'd have to go look at the exact numbers, but I bet 90% of our network companies are still in business, which I find astounding. Wow. I would hope that PCIN and the support of everything has played some part in that, but I think it also speaks to, it's a rigorous selection process. We're going out and really trying to find the cream of the crop of companies that are innovating and have a good chance of success in this industry. And to have a network that probably started around 60 companies total that have been ingested into it, to have 55 or so that are still in business is really amazing. And it's cool. So let me ask this. I know this is a very theoretical question, but when you look out over the next couple of years, what type of companies do you think are going to rise to the top and be winners? Which is really your prediction on where the heck's this industry going. Nobody wants
All right,
to
I'll
tackle this
go.
one first.
I'll plug my
Don't
theory.
look at me.
My theory is that people are only going to want more and more and more for their pets. That means better, deeper, different levels. We're going to see niching down in every single category, but that also creates huge opportunity for getting to have better relationships with our pets, take better care of them, and do better for them. And I think that all of us are pushing that, and we're really challenging a lot of the norms that have been there, and it's not easy. Anybody in hardware knows it's hard. Guess what? Software is also hard. Like, there is no easy path, but when you are pushing the forefront of pet ownership and you're trying to help people help their pets and have better bonds, it's good to have this type of camaraderie, and I think we are at the forefront, and I think that it's coming. I mean, people are demanding that people on our side, businesses, companies from corporate down to small, are providing them with those things to do better for their pets.
I would agree with that. I think there's another layer that obviously is my focus as an entrepreneur in this space, which is creating an ecosystem that has more transparency from the labor force, the frontline folks that are taking care of our pets, the folks in the retail stores, the groomers, the dog walkers, anybody interfacing with our pets when we're not there, especially.
Yeah.
Making sure that they are empowered, that they are educated, that they feel like they are being supported to have a career working with our pets that can have some longevity. And that just trickles down and trickles up and goes in every direction. So I think I agree with Meghan entirely that folks are relying on us to do what's best for pets and their families. But I also think that they're relying on us to do what's best for the industry, to support that frontline labor, to make sure that our industry stays stable and that we de-risk as much as possible. So I believe that there's a marriage of those things that come together, and that of course is done through largely education and engagement and networks and things. And I'm excited to see how this all plays out over the next 5-10 years and how we can really support our industry on those micro levels that are really fairly macro if you consider how many millions of people are touching people's pets that don't belong to them, right? It's really amazing when you think about the massive impact that people have on each other's pets.
Yeah.
I suspect, kind of inspired by the conversation we had yesterday, as consumers get more confidence in what they know and in what they can do for their dog or their cat, we will see a lot of services and products that reflect that kind of either rise or fall. So where is this going to come from? Thanks to AI, people will know what supplements I can give to my dog, which ones are good, which ones aren't that effective, which ones have a lot of marketing and which ones are actually going to be helpful. Like, turns out pumpkin is just, every dog and cat should just get pumpkin every day. That's not very expensive. You don't need a lot of marketing. AI is the kind of thing that can be a faithful interlocutor around these kinds of things that people previously didn't necessarily know that much around, right? There isn't, unlike in human stuff, there isn't large authoritative bodies that provide, guidance kind of across the spectrum of pet care. And AI can begin to bring a lot of individual kind of enablement that I think will translate into certain companies doing really well and others not so much.
And just on top of that with AI, I think also the testing and science coming into the pet industry from human trends, that is also on the next panel, bringing all this at-home testing and learning more about your dogs and the nutrition. And now we can actually see if it works or not. It's not a guess, oh, he feels good, well, has a shiny coat. Now we can measure if that works and if you get more years with your pet because you're treating them right and have the right lifestyle. So I think companies that really implement the real science and coming from the human space, we want to know how we feel and how everything, the microbiome and the DNA is on a cellular level doing that is swapping into the pet industry. And I think that those companies that can really do the studies and show this is good for them and not just we think, I think they're going to win and put the AI behind it that really show what is best for your personalized for your dog or cat. So
I want to watch that panel. I personally think that is at least one of the biggest trends and maybe one of the most investable trends in the industry right now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, all of this is there's more data accessible to consumers than ever before. And I think that's one of the keys is companies that can harness that data, turn it into some insights that are actually actionable for a consumer and their pet and that experience, whether that's exercise, whether that's nutrition, health and wellness holistically. I think the companies that find a way to bring that data together and create action for consumers that's meaningful, I think that's the next step. There's lots of loose threads. No one's doing the best job, I think, yet of trying to pull a lot of those pieces together.
So I think overall the consumers are being more educated. They're craving more education and they're getting it quicker because of AI. And the whole industry as a whole, we're going to be dealing with a little bit of a harder time in the economy. On top of that, so less pet ownership, and they want more pet ownership, obviously, for us to be able to grow. And I think those that position themselves now to be able to be a resource for those consumers and for them to be able to buy the best products for them and they're the most educated and have the most data and are prepared, I think that those are the ones that are going to succeed in the future.
So Leo touched a little on kind of lack of a consolidated authoritative structure. I'll lead on this one. I'm curious your thoughts. Looking out over the horizon, maybe over the next 5 years, what would you love to see improved in the industry that helps entrepreneurs? Personally, I would love to see more structured, focused money come into this industry to really boost up people from the earliest stages. I think there's money out there, but you guys have all dealt with it. It's pretty fragmented. There's not a lot of structure and focus to the way it happens, and certainly we try to push the envelope on that. But like from your vantage point, what would you guys like to see?
I agree with you entirely. I think there's been a trail of breadcrumbs for most of us, looking for funding, trying to understand who has done deals, what appetites are, what history is, what the size of the fund is. I don't think that there's no transparency there. I think it's really what we're talking about. I think, and that's not for everybody. I think that in general, especially for folks coming into the industry, trying to even navigate what it means, what investment even means. I think that there are a lot of tools that I think PCIN and I think you and Jay really, it's really Dustin and Jay putting this together for all of us, putting together some tools that the entrepreneurs can really lean on. Just like we're looking at consumers being able to get information and have transparency, I think entrepreneurs need the same thing.
Yeah. It really is education, and I'll talk about the female founders, but this is all founders. One of the things that we're trying to do more of is provide really early or even pre-stage founders and people who have ideas with access just to information like that. So it's women helping other women and also founders helping other founders. I think you guys have founders.pet and we've got female founders.pet. So it really is this ecosystem of, can we attract people before they've even gone so far down that road and provide them with maybe initially just the right contact at the right time or the right education to even get to the point of funding. And that's where it has been very, very fragmented and all of us before we found the network, I think we're on a much more solo journey with maybe a few resources, and something like this opens it up. So going even one stage before that, and that's where you really can start to bring it up. And then if you've got resources being structured coming down, I think that's the part that would really be a win.
So I love that. Now, since you brought it up, I'll explain a little bit. So I think there are three things that we have seen very recently that I think are all great steps in the right direction. What you guys are doing with femalefounders.pet, which is really trying to, provide some focus and access. LaShonda has a group, if any of you know LaShonda, used to be the Black Pet Business Network, is now Elevate. I love the name, it's easier to say.
Yes.
But it also, I think, goes to the mission of what they're doing of elevating underrepresented founders and getting some attention on it. Money, resources, everything, doing great work. And then the founders.pet that you were mentioning, we'll be launching soon. The goal of that is really get easy access to what you need in terms of resource and information for early stage founders. We'll tap all of you guys. Like, peer-to-peer information is great because we've all been in the trenches. You can provide some real information, and we'll reach out to folks like WPA to pull in very good resource information. But the goal of that is, if you're a entrepreneur starting out, and we've all been there, it's a lot of work just to try to figure out who to contact, what to know, what missteps not to take, and we're trying to make that easier. And then also give them access for stuff like feedback on business plans and pitch decks and all that kind of stuff. But really trying to make the life of an early stage entrepreneur more efficient and quicker. I think AI absolutely does that if used right. And I think the more we can do as an industry to bring some resources to bear for that, like female founders, like Elevate, and what we're doing with Founders.pet, are all steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
Probably not going to crack the egg on consolidated structured money day one, but hopefully it's all leading in that direction. Anybody else thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thought sorry, Leah, you go.
I was just going to say, this is the thing that maybe we've been talking about for a few years, but some kind of collective action around like the branding and PR of the entire industry could be super helpful. Where it's, Purina could, as part of their budget for PCIN, like fund a really top-notch PR firm to elevate the pet industry and elevate the way people think about having a dog or a cat at home, so that there is a tendency, and it's kind of a thing that dogs and cats do to us, right? Is they want to seem cute because they want you to take care of them. There's this cuteness, which has this side effect of kind of being frivolous or whimsical, which is great, but it also is not the kind of thing that attracts serious money and attention. And there is an opportunity, I think, from a PR standpoint to, again, like, make having a dog or a cat something that's kind of more hopeful, maybe a little bit deeper, and something that's higher value.
Yeah.
Go for your help.
They're working on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I love the group that we have, and having more groups and people that partner together in a positive way. I mean, I've introduced so many people in this group to my investors, and they've introduced me to theirs. And just meeting those people in the industry and having the right connections and just helping each other. I've never really been in a group before that's helped each other as much as like this group has, and become friends with people like that. So I'm very appreciative of that, and I think you guys have done a great job with culture. And I wish there were more places in the pet industry where more people can go to like that too. There's a few, but yeah, I like this one.
I have a self-interested note. So as a pet consumable company, one of the things I would love to see more resources around is having access to like, academic resources. So we've done a pilot with Kansas State University. They were super helpful to help us do one of our runs, do the first tests on digestibility and palatability. And they're not the only university that has those types of resources. I know University of Nebraska, University of Illinois have worked in exotic proteins as well. There's more transparency up front. It would have been maybe easier to know you can go to these universities, you can do these trial runs, and there's partners. It's really hard as like a normal person, like a civilian, just like, I want to make a better product. Who do you talk to find that information? And some of these universities ask for $100,000. Others might ask for 15 or 20 if it's aligned for a thesis that they're working on. Getting access and meeting some of those people all at once would be beneficial.
Awesome. Time check, Jay. Do we have 5 minutes or do we have 20 minutes left till the next one? Okay. So what's your favorite thing about the network, and why is it me and Jay? Let's close with this. So the application's just open for the next cohort of PCIP. Lots of companies will be applying and trying to put their best foot forward. You've all been through it. You can give one piece of advice, and I'm sure some of it might be repetitive. That's totally fine. You get one piece of advice for companies applying, what would it be? Leo, let's start with you.
I would just say, kind of first, just do it. But then, like when things are asked for on the application, like don't leave things just blank. You don't need to bring, A++, but like don't bring C- either. Like a solid B, at least B+. Obviously, if you can exceed that is great on each of the elements of the application. As someone who's reviewed them, will get you pretty far.
Good.
Yeah, I think just be honest with where you're at. It doesn't matter if you're not as successful now. I think that doesn't count as much as having a unique idea and a solution to something that someone didn't think of. And I would ask anyone that has been through it maybe to look over it before, get help. I think the network is always open to help anyone new, and just do it, yeah.
I would say highlight what makes you different and unique. There are a million dog food brands out there, right? But the reason Artie is here is because of what he's doing. The reason you guys are, like, everyone here is something really unique that they're bringing to the industry. And I think that the ones that are unique, that kind of stand out a little bit, even if you're really early stage, I think those are the ones that get, and be nice. We have a nice group. We want to keep it nice.
Agreed. Yeah, we have a no jerks rule.
Just be nice. I think also thinking about yourselves. You've got your company and your products and your mission and your vision, but who are you? What are you bringing as yourself? How are you gonna, what's your background? What makes you unique as a human being? What's your special sauce? That of course helped you to create your concept or your product. But like who you are, I think is probably more important than what you're doing. And I think that is a big part of the app. I think I think it's a big part of what you guys are assessing, maybe.
I'll weigh in at the end. You
All
guys
right,
go ahead.
all right. That's my advice. Be you, bring you.
My favorite thing about the application process is it gives me a chance to update my pitch deck and update my business plan.
Yeah.
And the exercise of doing that, like, I don't know if it's Napoleon or Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. But it's like this notion that like putting things together and having a structure is maybe the most beneficial part of the application process. And if you get cold feet and you're like, you know what, this is too much work, then you might never build that plan. So like just do it and then get it in front of people and ask them for feedback and then improve it. And it's a constant cycle, but it's a cycle of improvement.
Yeah, I'm going to build on something that's been said a little bit differently. Maybe I think there's a saying what perfection is the enemy of progress in some ways, right? The hardest part is just getting started and putting yourself out there. And you know what? None of us started with a perfect product or a service or whatever. We all just decided to start. And that's the hardest part. You'll work towards perfection down the road, but that's a destination that's way in the future, and don't let that stop you from taking a leap. Just go after it.
Okay, here's my plug. The Petcare Innovation Prize, powered by Purina and the Petcare Innovation Network, is nothing but value. So whether this is the first application you've ever made and you're terrified, or if you're a little bit later stage and you've got this and you already have a business plan and a deck and you can just put it right in, apply. If you're at one of the regional events, if you're in the area, come in person. Because even if you don't make it to the next round in the application process, you're going to meet somebody there who's going to be a great connection for you. And no matter what, if you don't make it this year, apply again next year. And that's all I have to say about it.
You're hired. I think those are great points. I'll add a little bit. So I see 150 to 200 applicants come through every year. We're not looking for perfection, so I think it's a great point. Lots of our winners are not first-time applicants, so that's important. We have innovation in the name, so certainly you want to highlight what you're doing differently, but that doesn't mean you need to be completely novel in what you're doing. We want to see that you're doing something unique and different, and most entrepreneurs trying to start out are. It's a facet. We also get asked about traction a lot. You don't need to have big numbers. You don't need to have big sales necessarily. We do want to see traction, but honestly indicate what traction is in your world. It could be very small depending on your stage, or we get some companies that actually have a fair amount of revenue and financial traction. Those are important things. Be concise and demonstrate who you are and what you do. Me and everybody else reviewing these are going through up to 200 applications. We need to quickly get our arms around what is this business that you have. So whether that's in a video, a pitch deck, which doesn't need to be 30, 40 pages, it can be fairly concise. That's actually helpful. Make sure you're clearly articulating what you do as a company and what your business plan is. And then come through as a human. We want to see the founders behind it. And yeah, we don't like jerks in the network, so we like to put nice people on the stage. With that, I will say thank you to all of you. Love you having you guys in the network. I appreciate all your words and I echo them. I value this network immensely. I feel honored to be involved in helping it grow, and I want to see you guys continue to grow. Give these guys a big round of applause.
Right. Dorky.
Dorky.